character profile this week. It was actually really easy because we'll get into why it was really easy a little bit later. But obviously, as a result of what was announced at D23, it got confirmed that the leader is making an MCU debut. I'll explain why it's not an MCU debut later on. But I thought, okay, this is a brilliant time, brilliant character who people might know the name of but won't know a lot about. Character profile, boom, easy. So this is what that is. The leader is also known as Samuel Stearns. He first appeared in Tales to Astonish number 62 all the way back in September 1964.
God, that's ages ago.
That is a long old time ago.
Yeah.
Proper OG character. And his was old school superhero and supervillain style. Science accident gone wrong.
Classic.
So he was working as a janitor, security guard, something like that, at a chemicals lab, science lab. And there was they were doing gamma radiation experiments. And there was an accident, and he got a big old dose of it. Do we know anyone else big and green who got a big dose of gamma radiation? Anyway.
No, a couple, no.
But it was really interesting the way the gamma radiation affected him. It did cause his skin to go green like everyone else.
Oh.
The big difference, though, is it didn't make his muscles grow. It made his brain and head grow, and he became super intelligent.
Well,
and it follows what is now known as like a trope, but wasn't at the time, of he was a below average intelligence man who was belittled by his family because his brothers and the older siblings were so much smarter and more successful than him. Right. So when he got this big old dose of radiation, he got the brains he never had. Whereas with Bruce, he was always smart, but he was pushed about and beaten and bullied and stuff. So he became big and strong. And a lot of the time, especially when you look back at old superheroes, when they get their powers, it kind of gives them the gap that misses out in their life. And then from there, they'll either go, I have the powers to get revenge, or they go, oh, I'm now a well-rounded person who can help people in multiple different ways.
Yes.
But basically, so he was bullied and treated like shit for not being that intelligent. But, I mean, his head grew, like, disturbingly large. He became very green and super intelligent. He consumed information at an astonishing rate. He retained all that information. He understood it. And that led to him trying to take over governments and become this big master plan. Right. And I kind of like him as a conceptual villain for the Hulk, because it's kind of like, Bruce can battle his intellect, but Bruce can't survive like a rocket to the face. So it's kind of them early stages of the Bruce and Hulk actually having to work together. Right. And they have clashed heads a lot of the time, as all of the gamma radiation heroes do. Kind of. Yeah, gamma bros tend to knock about together. But of course, the leader has been villains for other characters, and of course, he will be in Captain America 4. And I mean, it makes. No, I'll hold on to it. We'll keep stuff together. So yeah, that is the leader. Really cool character. If used right in films, you could have a really fun plot surrounding him and his just mega intelligence compared to the other people.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously got mentioned that he was returning or making the MCU debut or whatever, but I didn't really know who it was. So
it's weird. He's a really OG comic book character. But I feel like if people were to see like a shot from a comic book with him in it, they'd be like, "Oh, I recognize that guy," but they wouldn't be able to tell you who it was. I feel like he kind of sits in that bracket.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited.